Wow, welcome to tutorial 8 already. This is going to cover ads and analytics. So with analytics, you're going to get Flurry analytics, and you can see how many sessions you have, how many people are coming into your app, and how long they're spending in it. And then for ads, we have AppLovin, which is crazy easy PMs, makes you a lot of money. It's great for casino games, which is more reason why we recommend the Bingo source code. You're also going to get Chartboost, RevMob, and Playhaven. So we got this thing totally ready to go, and you get to decide which ads you want to show. And this is it. So after this tutorial, we're going to submit to the App Store. So let's jump right in, make you some money. Alright, I'm in my trusty file, bingoconfig.h. So if you click on the little folder icon on the top left, go into this bingoconfig.h file. It's located here. Now we're going to handle this little section, which covers Flurry, RevMob, Chartboost, Upsite, also known as Playhaven, and we're also going to do AppLovin. So I'm going to start in reverse order. We're going to do Upsite first. So if you go to upsite.com, you need to create an account if you don't already have one, and then you're going to go to the marketing page, and from there there's a button that'll say Add Game. So click on Add Game and it'll take you to this screen. From here we're going to select the platform, which is iOS, and we're adding an unreleased game, so enter the game's title here. I don't think it needs to be the full name, just put in a short one if you don't want to put the whole thing in there. So once that's done, click Submit, and this is Landscape, so click on that and click on Add Game. Now on this page you'll see on the right side Token and Secret. So there's a clipboard next to Token, click on that, and it should say Copied. We're going to go to Xcode, and where it says Upsite ID at quote, and then all these numbers and letters, we're going to replace those numbers and letters, keeping the quotation marks there, with whatever we just copied. Then we're going to do the same thing for the secret. So if you go into Safari, secret is right underneath, click on that to copy it, and then paste that in. Now let's go back into Upsite, and you see under here number 2 says Add Placements. We're going to view and add placements, click on that button, and then there's an Add Placement button, so click on that. Placement tag, I'm just going to copy it straight from here. It's the word interstitial, which is another word for like pop-up ad. I'm going to put that in. Description, I'm just going to put the same thing, and then click Save. Alright, so I'm going to click off of that. Now if you go to the very bottom, you can click on I'm Finished. Okay, so we can't make this go live yet since it's not live in the App Store, but that's a good time to bring it up that for Playhaven or Upsite, what you need to do is enter your app ID once your app is approved through Apple. So you'll go through, you'll submit this to the App Store, it'll be about 7 to 10 days, you'll get approved, and then you're going to take your app ID, which is located in iTunes Connect, and it's just like a series of 8 or 9 numbers, probably starting with the number 8 or 9. And then you're going to put that in here and then click on Go Live, and then this thing will fill up and say live. But for now we just have to leave it. So put this in your calendar, or remind yourself that you need to fill this information in once the app goes live. Now at the very top you'll see the app name, click on that, and then scroll to the bottom and go to Interstitial Ads. Click on that, and in the top right you'll see Add Interstitial Ad. Click on that button, and we can put an ad name in. I'm just going to paste in the same word, interstitial. Now you're able to put in advertiser filters. You can have content wrappers. I don't use any of these, but it could improve your eCPM, your results. So feel free to mess with that stuff if you want. But what we do need to do is click on interstitial here for the placement. And then there's also targeting. I'm not going to select that. You can also limit how many impressions each user sees, which is basically how many ads they're going to see. I'm not going to limit it. So I'm just going to hit publish. It says start immediately and never, ready to publish, and you can say yes, just publish it. And there you go. So that should cover Playhaven. And as we're doing this, I want to point out we are going to be showing you how to put in Playhaven or Upsite. Sorry, I use those words interchangeably because I'm very used to saying Playhaven, but they just changed to Upsite. So if I say either one, just try to think of it as the same thing. Anyway, we put in ads for these for Playhaven. We also did it for AppLovin and RevMob. Now you probably don't want your users to get triple pop-up ads every time they change screens in Bingo. That would be super irritating. So I don't recommend making all these active. So what you want to do for one of these, you can choose later, you can choose now, whenever you want. Even after your app goes live, you can unpause and pause these ad networks. What you would do for Upsite is you come to this interstitial ad section that we're already in, and you just click on pause up here. And then unpause it later if you want to activate them. Also, a little note, a good thing to do is pause them anyway, like not now because we're going to test them, but when you're about to submit this to the App Store, it's a good idea to pause these ads because Apple can reject you for having too many ads. So in general, I do pause these and then send the app for review to Apple. They won't see all the ads, they'll see like maybe half of them or I don't know, 10% of them. And then once the app goes live, unpause the ads and then you'll start making money. Alright, sorry that was long-winded, but just want to make that clear. Now let's move forward. We're going to go to Chartboost App ID and Chartboost Signature ID. We're going to fill these ones in. If you want, you can do a product clean now and test it, and just make sure you're seeing the Playhaven pop-up ads. They're the ones that say no thanks on them. It's usually like a grayish banner ad, pop-up ad. So you can feel free to test that. But for now, let's move forward for Chartboost. Alright, so I'm in Chartboost now. If you need to make an account, you can go to chartboost.com, create your account, go to Apps at the top left, and click on Add App, and that'll take you to this screen. And one little side note, if you decided to test Playhaven, you might have seen two pop-ups, one for Playhaven, the gray one that says no thanks on it, and then you might have seen another one, and that was AppLovin, just so you know. It's okay if that one's popping up right now for you. So anyway, we're in Chartboost now, and what I'm going to do after I click on Add New App, I'm going to select the platform first, which is iOS, and we're going to create an app nickname. And then we're going to select the app orientation, which is landscape. And then at the very bottom, let's just hit done. After you do that, find your app and click back in, and we're going to go back to the same page. The reason I do that is sometimes when I go through here and instead of doing done, I go next, it doesn't save everything, or just, I don't know, I get some weird bugs, so I have a habit of doing that now. You're welcome to try it out if you want, but this is the way I do it now. Anyway, we're going to go to App ID here, and we're going to take those numbers and copy them. Now we're going to go back to Xcode, and Chartboost App ID, take those numbers and replace them. Let's go back in, and we're going to do the same thing for app signature. And I'll put it right over here, the Chartboost signature ID. Alright, so let's go back into Safari. And now you can do some cool things with Chartboost with frames and creatives, but let's just go to the More Apps page. So we have a More Games button in the Bingo app, and this is where you can configure which games you want to show. Now you can advertise your own games here, or you can show other people's games. If you advertise your own, you don't get paid. If you advertise other people's and they get installed, then you will get paid. So in general, I like to advertise other people's apps. Now the only thing is, to advertise other people's apps, you do need to set up campaigns with Chartboost. So I'll walk you through how to do that now. Let's go to campaigns at the top. We're going to go to add campaign, and we're going to do publish in the network. Now here what you want to make sure your campaign is set to on. You can name it. And what I like to do is like something like a level 4, and I put dash $3 plus CPI highest priority. Now I'll tell you what that means in a minute. I'm going to do campaign start immediate and campaign end none. We're going to do iOS, and you want to select the Bingo app in here. I named it Bingo for free. There it is. Make sure it's selected. And then we want this as highest priority as I named it here at the top. And I want to include all the countries. I'm not going to change anything else. But what we are going to do is go back to the top, and we're going to go into the financial settings, and we're going to enter in a minimum CPC and a minimum CPI. So what I like to do for minimum CPC for my highest priority is do a 0.08, and then for CPI we're going to do $3. Alright, so why did we do this? So if you click save at the bottom, we're going to be creating this campaign, and it's highest priority, and it's set to target apps that are going to pay you 8 cents per click or $3 minimum per install. Now what you can do after you save this is go back in, create another one, do exactly what we just did, but change it from level 4 to level 3 and do a $2 minimum CPI. And instead of 3 here, we're going to change that to 2. And instead of 0.08, we can change that to 0.06 and be a little more lenient. And then as the priority, we can set that as high instead of highest. So now basically what we're doing is we're forcing Chartboost to pick the highest priority first, which is the best CPIs of $3 and higher. And if it can't find an ad that matches that criteria, it's going to go to the next one, which is this, which is $2. And then we can do 2 more. We can do a level 2 and a level 1, and that will be medium and low priority. And we'll do CPI of $1 and then maybe 50 cents. It's kind of a manual way to force Chartboost to give you the best paying ads first. So that's something you can try yourself. Now once you've made your campaigns, you can do one campaign if you want and leave all this blank and not do all that stuff I did. But you can do 4 campaigns, you can do more. And once they're ready to go, we're going to go back into the apps, back to that More Games page. So to get here, you're going to go to Apps, Overview, click into the app. It'll bring you to this page, and we're going to go to the More Apps button in the top right. And now, this little box here is where we show what apps appear in the More Apps page. So for example, we want to show other people's ads so we get paid. So in the search box, I'm going to choose level 4, and I see level 4, 3 CPI highest priority. I'm going to put that one first. So it appears in this box, and that will be some ad or some app that they can install. And then next I'll do level 3. So now on the More Apps page, another app will appear below it. And you can do this multiple times. You can have as many apps, well, probably not as many as you want, but you can put a bunch of them here, and they'll all show up on your More Apps page. Now since I have 4 campaigns, I like to do level 4, level 3, and then I might try again level 4, and then another level 3, and then maybe 2 and 1. So it ends up looking like this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 apps that will show up on the More Games page, and they are sorted by level 4, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, so that the bottom ones are the lowest paying and the higher ones are the highest paying. So hopefully that'll lead to more installs of the higher paying ones. Once you're done with that, you can click done, and you can test the app and make sure that the More Games button shows your 6 or however many apps that you decided to show here. Alright, so head on over to revmobmobileadnetwork.com or just revmob.com, and you can create an account. You go to the apps page, and at the bottom you should be able to click on iOS add app. First thing we're going to do is just add the app name, and you can choose to optionally block religion as an ad. And I am going to block that, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't think that the religion ads are going to apply to bingo people. I mean, maybe it will, but I feel like other ads, like for games and stuff, are more relevant. So it's up to you. You can choose to not click this or click it, but choose whatever you want, then click add. And once you've done that, we're just going to click back into the app, and you'll see app ID here with these 2 papers, which just means copy to clipboard. So I'm going to click on that and go back into Xcode. Right here where it shows RevMob app ID, we're going to copy over those numbers and letters. And by copy over, I really mean paste over. So that is it. That is RevMob. That was super easy. The other ones took a little long time because I wanted to explain stuff, but RevMob is a very easy one to work with. So RevMob is hooked up as pop-up ads and also for the free game button. So you can test those also now. Alright, next up is AppLovin. Alright, so I'm at app11.com, and if you don't have an account, go ahead and create one. I do think they go through an approval process, so feel free to tell them that pixtant@pixtant.com sent you if you're creating a new account. And once you have that done, go to the top right, click on Docs, and then choose iOS, and that'll take you to this screen. So all we have to do, super simple, I love app11, so we're going to go to this number 4, add your app11 SDK key, and we're going to take all these letters and numbers, copy them, and go into Xcode. And now this one is a little bit different. What we're going to do is we're going to go to, I'm going to click on the folder here, click on our project, and we're going to go into the target and select your app, and we're going to go to the info tab. There, second down, I see app11 SDK key and all the letters and numbers. Just double click on that, delete it, and then paste yours in. Boom, we are done with app11. That's why I love app11. It's just so easy to work with. And one benefit is that because this is just one SDK key, we never had to, create a new app and like put in the app name and choose landscape and all that junk. Because of that, we never have to do this again. For every bingo reskin that you do, you don't have to go through this app11 process because this key will never change. It will always be the same for all of your apps, whatever app that is. So that's it. That's all for the ads at least. We're going to do one more thing, and that's analytics. We're going to work with Flurry. Alright, this is the last one, and then we're going to submit this app to Apple, which is super crazy, super awesome. We're going to make you a lot of money. So I am at flurry.com, and if you go to applications and then click on the add new application button, you're going to see this screen. We're going to click on iPhone, and then we're going to put in the application name and select the category. So I put in the name and then put in games-casino for the category, and then click on create app. Now we're going to get the ID, so just take those letters and numbers and copy that, and let's head over back to Xcode. We're going to go back into the bingoconfig.h file, so you can find that here. It's in the global spelled wrong folder. Click on that bingoconfig.h file and define Flurry ID at quote. I'm going to take away all these letters and numbers and paste in our new one. There we go. Flurry Analytics is loaded and ready to go. Wow, so that is it, guys. That's all the ads. That's Flurry. That is in-app purchases. That is the images. I showed you also the MP3 to change the background music. That should be everything we need to do to get this ready to go and submit to Apple. I would do another test to make sure you clean first and make sure everything looks good. And I'll see you in the next tutorial.